So this question says, in the given system of equations, R is a constant. If the system has no solution, very important wording, what is the value of R? So in order for the system to have no solution, it basically means that we should be in a position to cancel out one of our variables, and in doing so, the other variable automatically is also canceled out. So what do I mean by that? Well, typically when we're solving a system of equations, we can use a process called elimination. That process allows you to cross out, or using that process, you typically will cross out one variable. But when there's no solution, no matter what you do, crossing out one variable also ends up crossing out the other. And that's what we expect here, since it has no solution. So the very first thing we want to do is to simplify this equation, because we have some like terms together here. So let's just get this all simplified. I'm going to subtract. Let's see. So I am going to subtract 30y from both sides, and I'm going to subtract 48x from both sides. The reason why I'm doing that is because I wanted to match the same structure as my second equation. So my first equation looks like this. I'd have a negative 102y that comes from here. This is gone. Plus 24, equals 24 minus 48x, which now matches the structure of the second equation, this ry equals 1/6 minus 16x. Okay, so that's my first step. My next step is, if I were doing elimination here, I would say that the easiest thing to eliminate is the x term. So because I don't know what r is, I'm going to go with the x term starting off. And what would I multiply by? I would multiply this second equation by a negative 3, because in doing so, I'll end up having a positive 48x right here, which allows me to cancel out with this negative 48x. But let's actually do the math. So I have negative 102y equals 24 minus 48x. Negative 3ry equals 1 half. In fact, it's negative 1 half. Negative 3 times 1/6. And then plus 48x, which is exactly why I multiplied by negative 3 in the first place. So the negative 48x and the positive 48x cancel out. And I'm left with these things. But like I said, in order for it to be no solution, both x and y must cancel out when you're just attempting to cancel out one. So that tells me that negative 3r must be equal to 102, right? How did I get a negative 3? I got a negative 3ry by multiplying by this negative 3 here. I multiplied by negative 3 so that I could get a positive 48x. And again, just for emphasis, in order to have no solution, whatever you do to eliminate one variable must automatically eliminate the other variable as well. So that's why I know that negative 3r must equal positive 102, because that's how these two things would cancel out. So when I do the math there, I divide by negative 3. Go to my calculator. 102 divided by negative 3 is negative 34. So I get r is equal to negative 34. And that's the answer. R is equal to negative 34. Now there is one more rule, so just make sure I write all this out. 1, x and y cancel. The second thing that I always make sure of is the remaining is not true. Remaining isn't true. Because there is another option here where x and y cancel and the remaining is true. And it's not a system that has no solution. It's actually a system that has infinitely many solutions. So just to check, right, this all becomes 0 equals 24 minus 1 half, which is 23.5. And yeah, that is not true. So what remains after canceling out x and y is not true. So we fit both criteria for a system having no solution. So r is equal to negative 34, and that's our answer.